Happy day after Labor Day, economics students. This is your 2-minute drill from today. We talked a little bit about the issues surrounding workers and Labor Day and wages, and then the role that macroeconomics plays in what we're looking at this semester. This was the graph that we started with, and you can see here on this graph in particular what we're looking at is how productivity has increased ever since 1948, and in fact you can notice from 1948 to 1973 that productivity is increasing, but hourly wage is also increasing at about the same rate. It's after 1973 where productivity continues to grow up, but wages remain stagnant. This is really kind of a big issue within the study of macroeconomics when we look at wages and wage disparity. Keep in mind we also looked at the idea of wealth inequality, not just wage and productivity not keeping up, but the fact that very, very few people have a lot of our wealth. In fact, that one person in the hypothetical 100-person economy has 40% of the wealth, whereas the bottom 80% have only 7% of the wealth. So it's a major economic issue that we're still looking at and still dealing with. We also talked about the business cycle, and we talked about the 4 phases of the business cycle. Particularly, we were looking at the idea of the peak, then into the recession, the trough, and the recovery. And when you look at those 4 pieces of economic cycles in the business cycle, that's what we see. That movement along that gross domestic product piece gives us the cycles that we deal with. Remember, this is our trend line that we want, and we want that trend line to be upward and moving in an upward direction. We want more of this blue line to follow the trend line rather than the red line because, again, the red line is volatile, whereas the blue line is much more stable in terms of economic growth. The last thing we looked at was the very different views of microeconomics and macroeconomics. Really what we're talking about here is what we're looking at in the first quarter, and what we talk about here is what we spent a lot of time in the second quarter. That's it for now. Talk to you later.